The Lost Master Saga is the dub title for this new chapter of Kingdom Hearts, which if things don't change, will already be off to a rough start, because the general audience has not a clue as to who this character is. This girl, right here, a lot of people do not know her. For those unaware, this girl is actually a character that has been relevant to the series for the past 5 years. Her name is Shurlitzia, and if not one of the, debatably is the driving factor behind a lot of the plot points in Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, or maybe even key. The Kingdom Hearts mobile story you're probably just now remembering is canon again. No, Kingdom Hearts fans aren't crazy about a canon mobile game either, and we have been absolutely begging for them for years to remake these stories or compile them in a more consumable way. Probably similar to how we got Kingdom Hearts Key back cover, although it was an original story, we'd like a movie or perhaps a game remake under that Kingdom Shader art style with some voice acting and some familiar visuals to follow along with.
That was foolish.
I said, that's quite enough.
Though despite that, some of us still follow the story anyways because we love Kingdom Hearts too much, and the story is actually really good. Like seriously, Union Cross is probably one of the best stories Kingdom Hearts has ever produced, and it's stuck on a smartphone. It annoys me just saying it sometimes, and I'm in pain too. People already had some trouble in the old days, and by that I mean pre-remix era, when it came to keeping up with the series. Why do you think stigmas of games like Birth by Sleep or Dream Drop Distance being side games or unimportant are a thing? I mean, it's not like in the MCU, only the Avengers movies are important and matter, but with Kingdom Hearts there's a decent perception that only number titles do. Though of course, Kingdom Hearts and the MCU are pretty different. Kingdom Hearts 3 was a wake-up call for a lot of people who thought perhaps only numbered titles mattered in the series, as the game embraced its lore and many branching storylines that has been built during the many years the series was waiting for its next huge release. Now for Kingdom Hearts 4's reveal trailer, one of the first things you see before we get into the meat of the trailer is Shurlitzia at your doorstep, which she looks great by the way, and based on what Nara has said after the trailer has been shown off, it would seem that this whole segment in Quadratum happens very early in the game, which is not surprising since this looks like Quadratum's equivalent to a Darkside fight, though I mention this because this tells me that Union Cross and key lore is going to be expected to be known going into this game, at least by some fans. Kingdom Hearts 4 might not release for another 3 years. If within those 3 years they don't remake, remaster, or at least make the story more appealing to some fans, this will be a big thing going into Kingdom Hearts 4 that I think people will have some issues with. I've already been seeing it on social media as fans hype for Kingdom Hearts 4 turns into confusion or frustration after finding out Shurlitzia is a mobile game exclusive character pretty much. Oh, did you know also that this is Lauriam aka Marluxia from Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories' sister? Yes, they're brother and sister. Also, that Lauriam is his real name and he was alive hundreds of years ago and is one of the oldest Keyblade wielders still around. Oh man, KH4 is going to be interesting for a lot of people. For those coming back into Kingdom Hearts after the Kingdom Hearts 4 reveal, welcome to the Lost Master Saga. The Lost Master Saga is just now starting, but has actually been being built up since 2013, since Kingdom Hearts 3 essentially started its development. This is even further emphasized now as director of Kingdom Hearts Tetsuya Nomura refers to Kingdom Hearts as having 3 sagas now. The Dark Seeker Saga, now the Lost Master Saga, which is the future of the series, and now they're referring to games like Union Cross, Dark Road, and the upcoming Missing Link as the Key Saga, which fans have been referring to it as that for a while now, but now it's a confirmed thing. At least this is the first I've read of him referring to Key as its own saga. Again, I don't want to discourage anyone from trying out the Key story. If you are willing to and want to be caught up and experience a amazing story, and I cannot stress this enough, a amazing, great story, please watch it. Yes, watch it. There's amazing people like Damo who have compiled and made it his mission to make Union Cross and that story easy to consume. I'll go ahead and link it down below. Union Cross is not a playable game anymore. Last summer, they shut down all gameplay and microtransactions and put all the story in a offline theater mode for when you download the game, meaning you have all the story there at once when you want to consume it. No hundreds of missions to grind or money to spend, just a character to create and watch. I realized a lot of people did not know this when scrolling through social media, that Union Cross actually isn't playable anymore and is just a theater mode. A lot of people were under the impression they still had to play hundreds of missions and grind out a mobile game. No, that is not a necessity anymore. Matter of fact, it's straight up impossible now. You can't even go back and play Union Cross. Lots of fans have been waiting years to see some of these characters develop in Union Cross under a different art style. So for everyone who has been and continues to follow the story story of games like Union Cross and Dark Road and the soon-to-be missing Link, it's going to be exciting. Though for a lot of people, this is a new discovery, seeing that these mobile games are canon and have some important lore. It's a lot more accessible than, say, buying a bunch of different consoles like in the old days, though the idea of a canon mobile game, just that statement by itself, canon mobile game, is extremely unappealing to people who have mostly played the series on consoles for most of their life. This is especially the case for people who got into Kingdom Hearts through the remixes or the all-in-one collection. The entire foundation for the Lost Master saga is from a series of games and stories on your mobile phone. Again, it sucks, and I'm with those who are annoyed with it, because I've been annoyed with it for years. Though if there comes a day where Kingdom Hearts 4 is released and Dark Road and Missing Link are finished with no console remix or anything, you may end up having to sit down for a couple of hours and watch some mobile game cutscenes if you want full context to everything in the story. And hey, I'll probably do it with you a couple of those times on stream if you want to stop by, because I want to rewatch everything to refresh myself as well. I'll probably do that a couple of times over the next couple of years, or however long it takes for KH4 to release. Kingdom Hearts 4 remains to be very exciting, and it's still very much a new beginning for the Kingdom Hearts series going forward. Though this story about the Lost Masters will also be a continuation of stories that have been being built up for years, that a lot of people are very invested in, so there's another layer to that excitement that a lot of people just don't know about. Kingdom Hearts 4 remains to be very exciting, and it's still very much a new beginning for the Kingdom Hearts series going forward, though this story about the Lost Masters will also be a continuation of stories that have been going on for years, but it's going to be interesting to see how current characters get wrapped up in all of it. There's people who have been invested in the Union Cross story, the Key saga, for so many years now, and to finally see the culmination of what following years of this mobile story is going to lead to. This is a problem that Kingdom Hearts 4 might end up having. Kingdom Hearts already has popular stigmas regarding its story, and having a canon series of mobile games that are likely to be essential for the new story is not helping. Though I'm so excited to see characters like Strelitzia interact with Sora. I can't wait to see encounters between Ventus and Lorium, or the Master of Masters, and why he's here. The story for the next saga is honestly one of the most exciting parts about it, that maybe not everyone is going to be into right away because of what it's kind of built off of. Now, I'm sure that Square Enix will do something to catch people up on this story. Hopefully it's in the form of a remake of all of these games in some sort of movie or however they want to produce it. But if that doesn't happen, what perhaps could be more likely is similar to what they did with Kingdom Hearts 3 and how they had the memory archives, where they went through all of the story in these very short little videos and just explain some of the major points in them for people to watch before they press the new game button. I don't know, there's a lot of ways they could go about for catching up people to this story, so they know about characters like the Lost Masters, so they know about characters like Strelitzia, but they could also write the story around it and play to the mystery that a lot of people might not know who these characters are, but that could potentially take away from the story they could tell if everyone was caught up, if everyone did know who these characters from Key were. It'll definitely be interesting to see how they go about things. I'm excited though, regardless, to see this beautiful and fantastic story that is Union Cross be explored even more in Kingdom Hearts 4. And again, if you do have the time and patience, I really recommend you give the story of those games a try. They might surprise you with how good they are, and will give you a broader idea of how upcoming games might end up playing out. However, that will be all from me. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, share the video with a friend or a family member. Leave a comment down below telling me what you think about a lot of people not experiencing some of the mobile games for Kingdom Hearts, what the best way could be to catch them up on the story, what Square should do about it. I want to hear your thoughts on that. And last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the union, all you have to do is hit that red subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out, you guys. Bye.
Now she's a daydreamer. She's always thinking about him. No more room in this picture for you to fit in. Now she's crying on the phone, telling you she's not good enough for him. When you think that she is perfect,